Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be working on the bear a little bit more. To do this we're going to fill in all of this outer part and in here with a solid color. To make that solid color we're going to be mixing up a little bit of our yellow ochre. We're going to want quite a bit of this, so we're going to get like 2 dollops of this. We're going to put it down here. Then we're going to pick up just a touch of our scarlet, or crimson. No, scarlet. And then we're going to mix that in down here. Mix that all together. And just should come up with a slightly warmer color of that yellow ochre. If you want, you can add just a touch of our medium yellow. Mix that in. We'll go with a little bit more medium yellow. There we go. Should come up with a color similar to this. Okay, then we're just going to start filling it in, just like a coloring book. We're going to fill in all of this. So, while we're doing this, I'm going to pause the video and then I'll come back once it's all filled in. Okay, now that we have it to this point where everything is filled in, I actually went over everything with a mop brush very lightly to get rid of any brush strokes, which is something that we've done before. We're going to add some lighting and some shading into his fur. So to do that, we're going to clean off our brush just by wiping it off on a paper towel. It's going to get muddy again, so. Then we're going to go in with our titanium white. And the flames are coming from the sides. So we're going to want to highlight the sides rather than highlighting the center. So to do that, we're going to go in just a ways from the border and we're going to start laying down some white. It might take a few coats of this to really get it in there. And then you can kind of bring it out into the contour of the shape. So where it's thicker in space here, it'll be thicker. And then where it's thinner in space here, it'll be thinner. We don't want to touch this line though. We want to stay away from this line and this line. So create a nice gap about 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch. And then just start feathering that white out. Like so. And then we'll get some more titanium white. And we'll do the same thing along the ear, on the outside of the ear. Not so much towards the inside because we're going to add some shadows there. But we're going to start down in this corner, staying away from this outside line, giving it some space. Just start laying in some stuff. And as we get up towards the top, come in towards the middle a little bit. So you're making like a moon shape. Now you can make this as bright as you want to or as dark as you want to. It's all up to you. And how many layers of white you want to put into that paint. Then just blend it out with feather touches or the tip of your mop brush. I'm actually going to do that. So clean up your mop brush. And then just with the very tip of it, feather in that paint. just to give it a nice little blend. Okay, now since this picture is symmetrical and we have flames on both sides, we're going to be doing the same highlighting to this side. So I'm going to pause it while we do this side, and then we'll come back to start doing some shadows. Okay, now that we have the lighting done on both sides of the bear, we're going to start in with some shadows. Now to do that, we're going to take and mix some more colors. So down here we're going to get some more of our yellow ochre. Put it down below where we were mixing our little guy's flesh color or his fur color, whatever. Then we're going to get just a touch of our burnt umber. Put it next to it because we don't want to mix in too much. And then just slowly mix that in until we come up with a nice mid-tone. And then we'll add just a tiny dot of our Scarlet down in the corner again, so that way we can mix it in slowly. We don't want to get too red, which can happen very fast. Just create a nice mid-tone there. Might need some more burnt umber. And there we go. Okay, now we're going to shadow underneath her hands. So we're just going to paint a line underneath her hands that kind of fades off into a point on this side. Then we're going to go right up next to the line here and shade that out, going about halfway to the midpoint of that high point of that ear, and then connect this into a triangle. And then we're going to do this side. We're not getting into her fingers, but we're going around her fingers to create that little triangle, and then all the way up into that high point and down. Just like that. And then we're going to take our mop brush and we're going to blend that out. So starting from the dark to the light, we're going to do little strokes and then little strokes horizontally. We might have to do another coat of that mid-tone just to make sure that it's nice and saturated, but that's not going to be a problem. Okay, I think that's going to be fairly good for now. I might touch up one spot right here where it got a little light. And then just blend that out with my brush and then dry off my mop brush and just pull that between the two tones right there. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, just like that. I keep touching it. Okay. Now we're going to do the insides of his ears. So we're going to mix up another color. We're going to take that same mid-tone that we used, and going off to the side, we're going to add some more burnt umber, which is our brown, off to the side, and mix that in. We want to create a little bit darker tone. Not too dark, just a little bit. Probably something like this. And then we're just going to fill in these. So again, while I'm filling in these, I'm going to pause it and then I'll come back once they're all filled in. Okay, now that we have it here where we have our things filled in, again, I just went over it really quickly with a mop brush to kind of smooth out some of those paint strokes. We're going to go in with some pure raw umber. And we're going to line just the insides of these circles. Kind of deepen those. Going to do the same thing over here. Just line the inside of those circles. Just like this. And then with our mop brush, we're going to wipe it off real quick. And then we're just going to pull that down into that mid-tone that we had. Or you can go between the mid-tone and the dark tone and really just kind of swipe it, keeping the contour of the shape. Okay, now we're going to take, again, just our raw umber. And we're going to fill in this part. We're not going to touch his eyes. His eyes are actually white. So we're going to just fill in around his eyes like a raccoon with the burnt umber. Okay, now that we have this filled in, I do want to address something. The burnt umber that's in this pack right here, it is very translucent. So what you might want to do, and what I'm probably going to do, is allow this area to dry for about 3 or 4 days and then go over it again with another coat. Once the second coat dries, you can go in with your white here and in his eyes and on his muzzle. If we try to put in the white right now and don't allow that paint to dry for the most part, then we're going to end up smearing some of that brown into the white. So for right now, we're going to leave this part, and this part blank. But we are going to fill in these little eyebrow nubs with the burnt umber, just like we did here. Smooth it out with the mop brush just a little bit, and then we'll be done. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you found this useful. I hope you're enjoying this process so far. I know it's taking a while, but oil paints, they do take quite a bit of time and dedication. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.